welcome back. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead, click that button. Welcome to mom life. So this video is obviously going to be about my birthing experience and how everything went, and yeah, so let's get to that. So clearly Jordan, this is Jordan, say hi Jordan, he wanted to be a part of my video, and these were a few clips because I'm not even supposed to be holding him and you stink, so we're gonna put you down. Anyways, so I feel like I should start with how did I know I was going into labor. So basically 2 days prior to me actually being in labor, I did get contractions. So now contractions are literally like the worst thing that you can possibly go through. Like, I give it to us women because it is hard. It is the real deal. So 2 days prior to me being labor, I had these contractions, but they were like basically false labor contractions. It did like, I did end up going to the hospital because I was like, whoa, like I think I am giving birth today. And I ended up going to the hospital. They checked me and I wasn't dilated whatsoever. And if you're not dilated, you're not in active labor. So they sent me home with all my pain. I literally, like on the way home, I literally was just bawling my eyes out because I was over it. Like I was over it. I was in pain. I was done. I was like, I need to give birth. Like, I'm so done being pregnant. When you're in the 3rd trimester, it's literally the worst trimester. Like, I kid you not. I thought the beginning was hard, but the 3rd, forget about it. It's like you're done and you just want to give birth. So they sent me back home and whatever. I was super sad. I couldn't handle the pain anymore. So next thing you know, 2 days later, I ended up being actual labor. And how did I know? I knew because the night before, around 3 a.m., I lost my mucus plug. So now your mucus plug is basically, you can say it looks like snot. So that came out of me and I searched it up, and once that comes out of you, you're basically going into labor pretty soon after that. So I told my boyfriend and I was like, hey, like my mucus plug came out, and he was just like, what that means? And I was just like, that means I will soon go into labor. Like, if it's not tonight, it will be tomorrow morning. So come 6 in the morning, I'm sleeping and I feel this like crazy pain. Like, it wakes me up. Imagine being in so much pain, it wakes you up. Like, I couldn't believe it. So I wake up, I'm walking around the house and I'm breathing, like I'm practicing my breathing, and my contractions are coming like consistently, like they're hitting me hard, to the point I'm literally sitting down and I'm holding onto the chair and I'm like, yo, like I can't do this right now. Like, I'm in pain. I literally went to my mother and I woke her up and I'm like, Mom, like I think I'm in labor. I'm having really strong contractions. So my mother, she literally told me like, so what are you doing? Like, why are you still sitting here? Wake up Kevin. Kevin's my boyfriend. You like my shirts? I got it from Shein, by the way. So if you want it, go look over there in Shein. Buy it. It's cute. Anyways, so, oh damn, my daughter's waking up. I'm like trying to record this as fast as I can because my daughter's like taking a nap right now. So, but she's obviously waking up. So she obviously woke up from her nap. Say hi, Olivia. This is Olivia, guys. Oh, what's wrong? I got completely distracted with what I was talking about. But anyways, my mother, she was just like, what are you doing? Like, get dressed, wake Kevin up, and go to the hospital. And I'm just like, I need to wait because it's like, I really do not want to come back home, because if I come back home, I'm gonna have a fit and I'm gonna be asked to be induced because I'm just done. And the pain was unbearable. Like, it was the worst pain ever. I thought I was in labor 2 days ago, but no, that does not compare. I kid you not. Like, you will know when you're in labor. Like, I know when you're pregnant, you ask Google a lot, like, how do I know when I'm in labor? Trust me, girl, you're gonna know, because that pain is insane. Like, it's not even from a scale of 1 to 10, it's not even on a 10, it's at 1,000. So I ended up going to the hospital and at 7 in the morning, and the whole entire ride to the hospital, I was literally just holding on to the handle. I was screaming. I was in so much pain. So I get there, they admit me right away. Pumpkin. Oh, what's wrong? She's like so distracting me from making this video right now. Okay, so I totally had to stop recording to feed her. But anyways, where I was at was I got admitted instantly because I was I believe I was 39 weeks. Yes, I was 39 weeks when I was in labor. I was 39 weeks, so they admitted me. Plus, no, I'm lying. Before I got admitted, I was in the emergency room. I was in the bed, whatever. They was keeping track of her heartbeat and also mine. They was monitoring it, and also my contractions. They was monitoring my contractions. I was consistent with my contractions. They also checked my cervix. I was 2 centimeters dilated, but when you're 2 centimeters dilated, that's not a reason to admit you and put you like in a labor and delivery room. You have to be 3 centimeters and above. So why they did admit me was because her heartbeat was low, and they will monitor you for 20 minutes. If you're fine within those 20 minutes, they send you back home. If you're not, they see red flags, they're going to admit you. So that's what happened to me. They saw that her heartbeat was a little low. They will say, oh, she's basically sleepy, like, but I knew something was up. So I ended up getting admitted. They put me in the labor delivery room. They instantly hooked me onto an IV, and from then, once I got admitted and I was in my room, I was still having very strong contractions. They had asked me, do I want the epidural? So I said yes, I did want it, but they were just like, do you want it now? And I was like contemplating, and I was just going back and forth, like, I don't know if I want it now. And they're like, girl, but you look like you're in pain, like, which I was in very, very bad pain, like. So they was just like, you know, like, there's no shame in getting it now, like, if you need it now, get it, like. So I was just continuing like thinking about it. It was like, no pressure though, like, we're not trying to pressure you into getting the epidural. We're just saying, because if the person that does give the epidural is in another room, or he's in the OR or whatever, it's gonna be a while until you get it, and maybe it may be a little too late by the time you decide to get it. So I was like, whoa, hold up, like, that scared me. And I was like, no, I'd rather just get it now. So I said yes to the epidural right there and then. My mother and my boyfriend had to step out the room in order for me to get the epidural. So now with the epidural, what it does, it numbs you from the waist down, and it also helps a lot with contractions. Once I had the epidural, like, my contractions basically, like, I wouldn't say they left, it's just I was able to tolerate the pain 100%. Yeah, so what they do is with the epidural, they put it literally in your spine, and you have to stay still. Like, no matter if you're going through a contraction, within that moment that they're sticking that needle in, it's like this big, by the way. Don't be scared of it, because they do numb you. If you decide to get the epidural, they do numb you before entering the needle. And you don't really feel it. What you feel is like a burning sensation when it is inside of you, when they put the liquid in. But that's kind of normal, because if you're used to getting shots and stuff, it's like that. I didn't really feel much of it. But yeah, it wasn't bad, the epidural. It also helped a lot. I feel like the epidural definitely, the side effect to an epidural was itchiness. I was very, very, very itchy at one point, but if it wasn't for that, honestly, I don't know how I would have done it, because that helped a lot. But anyways, so after I got the epidural, my mom and my boyfriend came back into the room, and I jumped to 4 centimeters dilated. So once I was 4 centimeters dilated, they was just like, oh, we're gonna give you an hour more and we're gonna see how far you've come. And then they came back into the room and they broke my membrane. They also broke my water, because my water never broke. Sometimes it is normal for your water not to break. So that's another thing. If you're currently pregnant and they tell you like, oh, like you must have your water, like your water must break to know that you're in labor, no, that's not true, because not everybody's water breaks. Like mine didn't break. They had to break it for me. I was completely numb down there, so I didn't feel absolutely anything. I believe by 7 p.m. I was 6 centimeters dilated, and I ended up being in active labor. Like I was ready to push by, I believe, 11 p.m. Yes, 11 p.m. So it felt crazy. Like honestly, what they say is true. Like you feel like you just have to take a huge fucking crap. Like you feel like you have to shit. So look at her falling back to sleep. So I felt like I had to poop, but they was just like, okay, so it's time for you to push. You're 10 centimeters dilated. Let's go. Let's do this. So as soon as I started pushing, it was hell. So I started pushing instantly when they told me you're 10 centimeters dilated, you're ready to push. I started pushing. It was kind of hard at first, because I feel like if you don't know how to breathe while giving birth, the process is way longer, and that's something that they did told me. They also taught me how to breathe. Like you have to like literally hold your breath for 10 seconds and then, you know, exhale, and it's just a whole process. But while I was in labor and I'm pushing and whatever, I was in a lot of pain, because they do turn off the epidural. Like you can no longer press the button to the epidural, because they want you to feel your baby coming out of you. So they want you to feel you pushing, because if not, if you don't feel the baby coming out of you, how are you supposed to push, you know? So that was hell, because I felt all the contractions all over again, and I honestly felt like I needed to push in order to have some sort of relief, which is crazy, right? So I honestly felt throughout my entire labor, I felt like contractions were the worst part. Pushing her out was nothing. It's the contractions. Like, not to scare you, but them contractions is legit. It's a real deal. At one point, I did, they told me to stop pushing. And I'm like, whoa, like, I can't right now. Like, I can't stop pushing. They was just like, no, like, you need to stop pushing. They ended up getting another doctor into the room. So that doctor, he basically put his hand inside around her head, because I had pushed to the point where you could see the top of her head. So he put his hand around her head, and he had felt her umbilical cord, and it was wrapped around her neck at one point. So he was just like, okay, we're gonna have to do this fast, get the utensils, like I'm ready. So like basically when I pushed her out, he was ready to just snip the umbilical cord. So that's what happened. I pushed her out within 20 minutes, which is pretty fast. They told me it was pretty fast. Like I won Best Pusher of the Day award. And I'm gonna put a clip here, because it was very traumatic for me, because honestly, while I was pushing, I did throw up a couple of times. So I heard that's pretty normal to throw up, but it was just insane. Like I was just in so much pain. I couldn't anymore. Like I was done pushing, and once I threw up, she just shot out. Anyways, once I threw up, she shot out like a football. Like, that's how my boyfriend, my mom says, she just literally flew out. So I'm gonna put a clip here. It's very rated R, but I'm gonna blur parts of it out. But yeah, it was very hard on me, especially because after I did finish popping her out, I still needed to throw up. I threw up some more, and my mom was literally like telling me like, look at your daughter, like look at your daughter. And I'm just like, I couldn't, like I was done. I died right after I gave birth. Like, it's just so much. Giving birth is a lot. Like, you have to be strong mentally, physically. Like, I give it to us women. Okay, so I had to put her down because she was obviously falling asleep on my arm. But like I was saying, it was very traumatic. I am gonna put the clip either right here, or I'm just gonna just place it into the video. I am gonna cut some parts out. Well, not cut some parts out. I am gonna remove some parts because it is
baby, Melanie.
But yeah, it was a very traumatic experience for me, and it was just a lot. Like, when I finally pushed her out, I literally could not look at my own child. My mom was literally telling me like, look, like you gave birth, like she's here, she's on top of you. And it's just like, I just couldn't. I was done. I just needed to rest. Like, I was just so over it. Sadly though, when I did give birth, like I couldn't really do chest to chest, like, what's it called? No, it's not chest to chest, skin to skin. I couldn't do skin to skin because she did need instant attention. And she had like 5 doctors around her, and literally it took her a while to even start crying. But I was kind of like out of it, so I didn't really pay mind to it, but my mother was. And after I finally caught my breath again, and I like started like to be a little bit more alert, I did realize that I'm just like, whoa, like why don't I have my baby, you know? So I was just like, hey, like, is everything okay? And they was just like, oh, like, we're gonna tell you right now. And I kept asking, like, is she okay, is she okay, is she okay? And once again they kept telling me, oh, we're gonna get to you right now. And it was just like, what the hell is going on? So they ended up just literally taking her, and she had to be placed in the NICU. So after I gave birth, I didn't really get to see my daughter because I was extremely tired. And then they put her in the NICU, and I saw her the next day. I was in the NICU for 3 days, and she was in the NICU because she drank my amniotic fluid, which is the water that us women hold on the inside that protects them while they're inside of us. So she drank that, and that was in her lungs and whatnot. And basically once they cleared that out of her, she was good to go, and I got to take her home, thank God. Like, it was nothing serious. Even though it isn't nothing like too serious, it does take a toll on a mother, especially like right after you give birth. You expect to be with your child, hold your child, be in the room with your child. Unlike me, like, I wasn't able to do that. The days that I was in the hospital, my child was in the NICU the whole time, and I did have to go home without her. And I was very sad, like very sad, because just imagine just holding your child for 9 months. You finally give birth to her, and you're not able to hold her, you're not able to actually be with her, and it's just like, and then you go home without your child. Like, can you only imagine that? Like, it was just, I was very sad. But she ended up coming home that same day. I got home at 12 p.m. and I got to go pick her up by 5 p.m. They had to run a lot of tests, make sure she was good to go, and that, you know, she was ready to just be home. Yeah, so I would say for sure that, you know, my labor experience was okay. I wouldn't say it was great, because, you know, I was in a lot of pain, but who isn't? Like, you're literally giving birth to another human. Like, it's insane. But I feel like out of my entire experience, that was the worst part, which was like, you know, watching my daughter in the NICU. But other than that, everything was fine. And yeah, well, that's the end of it. That's my birth experience. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe, share with family and friends. And if you know a friend that is pregnant at the moment and you think they'll like to hear my video, send it to them. Bye.